I'm going to talk about boundaries this time. And boundaries, I did not realize, all these people were talking about boundaries, I was reading up on it, but I didn't realize how important it would be until I started enforcing them, until I started seeing the changes. So, boundaries. Let's picture either you are this circle or you are this house. Now, the boundaries in this circle or house are not healthy. That means you either have holes or you have walls. So you are not maturely acting on it. Either holes means you're just letting people come into your house, into your circle, and making the most of your resources. Maybe you're heating, maybe eating all your food. In a proper term, it's like you can't tell them no. So once you realize that setting these boundaries, which will be healthy doors and even windows, let's say windows even, you will have a big ability to say no. Saying no will be one of the biggest tools you'll have in your belt. And when I say saying no, I mean also saying no in a mature, healthy way, where you're still, it's not like you become enemies or anything, you are still agree to disagree. That circle is you, that house is you, inside what your resources are. That will be your self-confidence, your self-esteem, all these self. Yeah? You have control of that. And the more you let other people control that, the more you're going to lose those resources. The more you're going to need your own way of refilling them. But if you have those healthy boundaries, then you don't need to refill constantly. If someone asks you for your things and you are like, I don't mind giving them, but not now, or I don't have enough to give, so sorry. Let's boil all those self-esteem, respect, all that into one thing called sense of self. So you have sense of self inside you, but you also have this observing ego. Let's put that I outside the house, outside the circle. That is you observing not only you, but the behaviors around you and everything. And this observing I is going to be your inner voice telling you, okay, you've made a mistake. You need to work on that. So this observing I is not judgmental to anything. It tells you exactly how things are. You look at things and you're like, okay, this person didn't behave the right way. Do I still want them in my life? If I still want them in my life, how am I going to set my boundaries with them? So those boundaries are going to be so important, because your observing eye is going to help you. It's going to say, oh, they said this or they did this, and I felt a sense of contraction inside me. I didn't feel good. And I don't like the excuses they're creating. Do I still want them in my life, or do I need to get rid of this person? Do I need to set harder boundaries? Do I need to set consequences? You have to decide on those. One big way to start filling your tank is having a list of to-dos and watching them get checked off. So doing the action to check those off. That's going to start giving you more confidence in yourself, give you more sense of control of your life. And the more control you have in your life, the less angrier you'll be about things around you, because you are in control of yourself now. The other one is, I don't know if Dr. Paul Dobransky has a name for it, but let's call it a seesaw. The seesaw, one side is sense of well-being. Let's call it the mother energy. The other side is confidence and courage. That's the father energy. So think of it as you've had a really busy, stressful work day. It's been so busy. So that side will be the sense of courage and confidence, where you've pushed yourself to such a limit that you've really kind of overworked yourself to a point now. So it's time to go into your well-being. Now, what is your well-being? Is your well-being, my well-being is going to the gym, going to the cinema, recharging that way, while Others might think gaming. For them it's gaming and eating. You have to find the right balance of your mother's side and your father's side. I've made a separate video on self-parenting and being your own parent, to tell yourself, okay, you've had a good time now you need to grow, now you need to do some exercise, you need to push yourself to past your comfort zone a little bit more, and then you can go back to feeling a sense of well-being. This is one of your biggest ones because it's happening all the time to you. Your friends will tell you, oh, let's go for a drink, let's go party, let's go eat, and it's up to you to decide. My question to myself is always, have I earned it? The first example I'll give you is related to the question asked in this group, where this girl felt like she was being pushed to answer all these questions all the time. Now, I myself hate questions, too many questions. So after a certain amount of questions, I'll be like, look, these questions are draining me. Can I have some more statements? Can you tell me more stories from your side? Because I don't want to be the one constantly talking while you just ask me the questions. I feel like you're interrogating me. I had to cut out some friendships because when I say that, they're like, yeah, but why? What's the problem? And this is the same thing she was facing. It's like, yeah, it's just an innocent question. Yeah, but you're still asking me a question about what's the problem about it. I am feeling drained about it, and I would like you to respect that. If you don't respect me and my boundaries that I'm setting, why do I want someone like this in my life? Throw back the question at them. Why would you intentionally disrespect me when I've already told you that this is what's bothering me? Give me more statements. I've offered you solutions. So when you draw a boundary, you also offer solutions. I'm going to do another different topic on difficult conversations, where I've talked about what the behavior is. State the behavior, not make the person feel bad about themselves, but what they were doing was what was affecting you. So you state what the behavior was, state how it's affecting you, and then offer a solution. But what their behavior is doing is bothering you in a certain way that you would like it to change. But you have to ask yourself at the same time, how important is this person? Remember, your energy, your resources, your sense of self-worth, well-being, it's up to you. It's in your control, like we said in the start. Another question I had was someone being abusive, physically, mentally, verbally. For that, you don't even need a boundary. You need to cut this person out straight away. That's going to be your boundary. This person doesn't get permission to enter your house, your circle at all. And if you can, keep a distance from them, because they're going to either make you want to play that same game, they're going to pull you into that pit, or they're just going to make you feel worse and worse, and sometimes it ends up being a very unhealthy outcome. I have a 3-strike rule, and after the first strike I'll already start getting aggressive. After the second strike I'll show consequences. After the third strike I'll take it to where some kind of authorities are involved. Just mean that I've already got enough evidence showing that I've shown my boundaries, this person's abused them. Now the police need to get involved. Now someone needs to get involved. If you don't have the confidence to say no, if you feel the no is too hard, there's a few tricks I've learned. I'm like, look, this is a big task you've asked me for. Give me some time. Let me consider it. You want me to work more hours without some pay for now. It's a big task because my child is involved. So let me talk about it with my wife, because it's a thing I need to consider with my family. So I can't answer you straight away. Oh, you want me to reply to you now? If you can't say no, I'll let you know. Listen, I can't think. I really can't think right now because there's so much going on. Just give me a few moments. I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. I think it's Suzanne Kane who says if it's not a full body yes, then it has to be a no. Tim Ferriss, he says, if you're forcing me for an answer now, it's definitely a no. It is definitely a no. Now, once you have your boundary, think of that group I just talked about as having their own bigger boundary. What are they going to allow in that group? What are they not going to allow in that group? Is that the kind of group that has the values you want to have? I can't stand drinking, I can't stand drunks, I can't stand alcoholics, so it's not my group. I've had one too many unfortunate incidences, unhappy incidences, and I don't want that anymore. So that's your observing ego. That's your observing ego telling you, I saw this is how things are, now you have to make a decision. So when you have this bigger kind of boundaries, that's where individuation even starts. Now, individuation is when you're in a group boundary. You have your boundary, you're in a group boundary. Your boundary doesn't match, or you're a child who's in this boundary, who's slowly, say, halfway through out of that group boundary of the parents, and slowly you're learning different things. You're learning from your experience, you're learning from your education, you're learning from your intuition and your conscience. And all this is making you grow into having your own boundary, because before that, what you had was what your parents gave you, what the people who raised you gave you, the people who you look up to. And now they're not matching, because they like their older music, you're starting to like your newer music. They like their older activities, you're starting to like your more physical activities and things like that. So you're starting to break out of that house to start moving into your own house, your own circle. Now, while you're doing that, you're also joining forces with other people with boundaries, and you're starting to mix and match. You're like, okay, I like this person likes this kind of music, I like hanging out with them. In a company, same thing happens. Sometimes this boundaries here, the group boundaries here, and if you want to push the boundary, the culture to move towards certain things, maybe diversity and things like that, then you slowly start bringing things in. But if you want to get involved in way too many things, and you're like, okay, then it might be a bit too far, because it has to still relate to what the company works under, what their boundaries are, what their belief system and the business plan is. So you can see, if you break out too much from your boundary, then you're starting a cult, then you're starting your own group. I think I'll leave it there, folks. If you have any questions, let me know. But just remember, your boundaries are your responsibility 100%. That observing ego and your personal sense of self and how you can build that. So situation